Hey folks, welcome to Gino's Talking Rock, and we talk all things hard rock and heavy metal. Today is not going to be any different. We got a great new interview with you. It was a couple weeks ago. Shotgun Mistress out of Australia. Great band. You're gonna love the interview. That was with the drummer. It's kind of funny. He's actually sitting in his car outside. And it's great. It is a great interview, but you guys get a kick out of that. Great guy. A lot of fun. And so yeah, you guys can get that. There's some stuff going on in the interview. Listen to it because hopefully they're going to be over here in the States. Doing some stuff, and there was a little bit of some history between myself and the lead singer, and so he and I have worked together for the past couple of years. He's been sending me over different bands and things like that. So, but yeah, you're gonna really enjoy it. But really, the purpose of this monologue right now is I would like to address something that happened last night. Some of you are well aware of. I'm a retired federal agent. I've worked with a lot of great officers in my career, and I'm also a member of a couple of societies and things that we do here. But one of the things is a police society we do here in Savannah, and we do different things. And I'm really proud of it. And I've met a lot of wonderful people in that society. And last night, after one of our meetings, we lost one. And I'm not going to really reveal the name. I will do it on a different date because the families are still being involved and everybody's getting into it because it just happened. And I wanted to bring it up because he was a fan of the show. And it hurts. It really does hurt. You are really a really great guy, a good man, a good family man, a good person, and need more people like him. And we lost him. And I wanted to, send our love to his family. And we're pulling for everybody, make sure everybody gets through this trying time. And family and friends, we can just always remember, have his memories, and live the best lives we can for him. So I think that's where we ought to be at. But yes, that's what this monologue was really for. I wanted to dedicate this show to him, and I think he would have loved this interview because I think he would have loved the band. He loved hard rock and heavy metal music. So keep those metal horns up, and may he ride those horns to the heavens. Thanks a lot, guys. Enjoy.
Time is the name of there.
Yeah. Hey guys, welcome to Gino's Talking Rock, and we talk all things hard rock and heavy metal. As you guys know, I span and I search the globe for these bands, and I find these guys. Today's a bit of a special treat for me because this is a band that has a member in the band that I have worked with quite a bit over the past few years, and although he's not with us right now, I'm being honest.
Spirit.
Yeah, he's with us in spirit. He's alive, folks. He's here. He's with us.
He's really in the back seat.
He's in the back seat. He's a creep. He's actually a creepy dude, right? Glenn, we love you. And that's not the case. But what this is one of these things, as you guys know, I talk to bands from Eastern Bloc all over the world. I've spoken to bands, and it's not going to change. I'm going to continue to do it because this genre of music needs it. These guys need to come up, and we want to see these guys have the success that they so deserve. So here on Gino's Talking Rockin', we have from Australia, Shotgun Mistress, and we have the drummer, Dave.
Diamond Dave, yeah.
Diamond Dave. Well, we can't say Diamond Dave. Diamond Dave, it's already taken.
I know. I know. I got nicknamed Diamond Dave, and I'm thinking, geez, but Diamond Dave was just such a legend over in your bloody.
Oh yeah.
So over in the States, I'm just like, how the hell can you? I can't even do the splits, man.
Call you Stony Dave.
That'll do. Been called worse.
There you go.
That's so good.
So the drummer for the band, as you all know, I associate well with you because myself being a drummer. So
he was a drummer too.
So let's welcome to the show, man. How are you doing?
I'm well, Jan. Thank you very much for having me on the show today. It's awesome, man, to be able to chat with you and yeah, get our music out there. So thank you for having me on, man.
So, for all you folks that are watching this, because this will be on our YouTube channel as well, when you're watching this, he's not driving. He's in a car, but he's not driving.
Shit, hang on.
Being
Whoa,
safe.
whoa. No, I'm
Oh,
joking.
okay.
I'm
Oh, I
joking.
just ran over somebody.
Yeah.
Don't end the conversation. Keep going.
Beep, beep, beep. I'm sorry.
So, and
Sorry.
we've done a number of shows with with bands from out of Australia, in large part due to and thanks to Glenn. But I've done some other shows with some other groups over there as well. But one of the things that really comes across with me, comes across to me when I listen to the bands coming out of Australia, is that you guys seem to be really tapping into the gritty, dirty rock and roll sound. They came from the United States. I believe I probably there's a hint of like the Stones
100%.
and things in there. But I talk to people about bands and they're like, well, what bands? I said, well, I talk about like Faster Pussycat, LA Guns, and they're not glam. They're not glam bands. They're just like dirty, nasty, rotten band. Like
exactly,
you feel the grit in their music, and that's what they sing about. But you have a heaviness to your music, and you are pretty heavy. And so talk about that a little bit. Where did this come from?
Well, we've had our collective of bands that we grew up with and which we loved. Obviously, our biggest influences would be like Slash, Guns N' Roses. Then you kind of go down the road to like Velvet Revolver, and then we put a little bit of a Motley Crue sort of spin in there, a bit of Van Halen, a bit of Paul Gilbert for the guitar work, and sort of combined it. You know what I mean? Having that sound from 30 years ago, which everyone just fucking went nuts for. And then we sort of replicated that because we didn't want it to sort of die off. And we've just sort of put a little bit more of a modern spin to it, I suppose, and then sort of had that familiarity with the sound. But having four different personalities come together in one band, we didn't know how the hell that was going to work at the start, but it actually worked really bloody well. So, Glenn and I have come from Glenn's come from more of a poppy sort of type background with a prettier sort of type voice, but he can also do like Scott Weiland and all that sort of vocal and have that real raspy and that real sort of aggression with his vocal, plus doing like a bit of a Ronnie Dio, where he can hit these fucking high notes. Then having Matt come from, more black metal, speed metal, death metal, all that sort of genre, and then sort of puzzle piecing it together with me being rock and roll and Benny kind of in the middle of all that as well. And it worked really well. But you can hear in the influence, it's almost like creating four different characters, I suppose, in the music, but that sort of influences bang into every single track that we've kind of written. So, but yeah, it works, man.
It does work. It does work. And yet that's funny. I'm glad you mentioned all the different genres because all those different genres, I guess really depending on who's in the band, but they can be difficult to blend, and there are a lot. Hey, I'm not a fan of screamo. I appreciate like a Lamb of God, incredible musicians. Oh my God, it's just like the musicianship is like next level. And I'm just not a fan of it. I didn't grow up with it. I don't really care for it. But if you're able to actually have people within the band that are fans of that, and possibly had played it in the past, but you know what? They're like, dude, we're all about rock. We want to play hard rock. That's what we're doing.
Exactly, man. And that's exactly what it's all about, bro. We got so sick of listening to, all the rock and roll that was here was just so repetitive and there was just no change. It was just on the Triple M, which are all your commercial stations here. And it was just, nothing was changing. And we kind of sort of formed Shotgun as a bit of a joke. We thought, stuff this, let's just form a rock band and we'll create an album and, we'll put it out there. And then we weren't expecting it to sort of take off the way that it actually took off. And it was like, wow, okay, well, it's done it now. We may as well continue doing it. So
that's awesome, man.
That's what we're doing.
Well, the other thing that's really interesting about your guys is what you guys are doing. I mean to cut you off, but one of the things that you guys do, I think, is really great, especially for an Australian band, is that you guys are not following the template that, as we all know, many Australian bands do follow, which is the AC/DC template. And people and not to say there were some great bands that came out of Australia that maybe dabbled in that template, but did their own thing. But you guys are just saying, no, we got our own thing going. We're going to play our own. We have our own sound. We have our own thing that we're going to do.
Yeah. Yeah, basically, we love our Guns N' Roses. Anything to do with Slash, all that sort of, even with Miles Kennedy and everything that they do there, just phenomenal musicians. We we we've got massive respect for those guys. Never met them before, but hey, if we ever get to meet them, oh my god, I'd be like a little bloody fangirl. Wouldn't know what the hell to say. But credit to those guys because they've influenced us heavily. So into what we do with our music today. As you just said, you made a great example of, we're not following the suit of going for AC/DC or your traditional Australian sort of type rock and roll. Maybe one band in there, maybe Rose Tattoo, if I may, and Electric Mary. We sort of went along a little bit along that line, but it's more American influenced of what we do. Put us on the Sunset Boulevard. Holy shit! I think it would be in the perfect sort of genre of music.
I couldn't disagree. I think that one of the things that's really interesting, and I was just thinking about this the other day. It's probably in the late '80s. Dave Mustaine came out and he said something that really just shook people. Like, and he told the world, "I'm a fan of Cinderella." People were like, "What?
Well,
you're what?
Yep.
You're a thrash metal." How could he's like? But they're a great rock band. They're a really good rock band. They play great rock music. If you listen to them, and he's like, they're really, really good. And then now, of course, years later, Dave Ellison, who's no longer in the band, but he talks about, oh no, we were all fans of LA Guns, Motley Crue. We liked all that. Of
course,
music
man.
because it was good, heavy, hard rock music, and we loved it. But when it came to the public image, we're like, oh no, yeah, we're only into like Motorhead and all this. Like, we're back in our hotel, listening to Faster Pussycat. We're listening to Tesla. I'm like one of the biggest Tesla. I'm one of the biggest Tesla fans. I love Tesla. Awesome. I'm a huge Tesla fan. Being from Sacramento, I'm a huge Tesla fan.
Yeah,
but yeah, so I think that it's anybody who listens to the show can tell you I'm a big supporter of. You have your influences, and it's important to have those influences in your music. Not everybody. It is true. Not everybody puts their influence into their music. I mean, yes, you can go too far, but I think that it's important to say no. You can hear it. Like when I there was a band. I don't know if you ever listened to them. They're not around anymore, which is very unfortunate because they're really good. Called Gypsy Hawk. Gypsy Hawk. And
no, that's a great name.
When you get a chance, just look for them.
I will, man.
Their albums are still out there, really good. But you can hear Thin Lizzy through every single song. So good. Awesome. I actually I talked to him and I was like, this is before I had the show. I actually just had a conversation with the guys. I was like, holy crap, you are like Thin Lizzy, like reincarnated. He's like, is it that obvious? I'm like, yes, dude, it's that obvious. You're really good. You guys do great, but holy crap, man, is Thin Lizzy like everywhere? And it's really funny because all their songs had to do with Game of Thrones.
Yes.
All the lyrics. It's really funny. Awesome. But it was done very well. Anyway.
That's the main thing. That is the main thing.
So going back, you guys making this and doing all this. I know the album came out in 21.
Yes.
And you guys you're putting out singles, and you got the new single out, and it's great. It's really, really good. My fiance loves it. And
off the new album, or
yes,
Well,
right here on air, we're going to clear. Is there something else that you guys got coming up?
We do. We've got Glam Fest coming up.
Music-wise.
Music-wise, we've got the album to be released in June. We've got another 2 singles coming your way soon. So Jude Judas is the first one that's coming to you on Australia Day. We're releasing it on Australia Day, the 26th of January. So the video clip plus the track comes out. Obviously, it's already getting sort of released through the radio stations now, which is really good. So everyone's kind of getting a little bit of a taste and a teaser of everything of what's coming for you from our new album. Then we got Shot Down coming, which will be the next one, and then Mary Jane, which will be, but we've got a special guest for that one, just for your ear holes. So it should be really good. I can't tell you much.
It's not me, guys. I know you guys are gonna be disappointed. You wanted to hear me on it. It's not gonna be me. I'm sorry.
Come on, Gina, man. You're not meant to tell him yet.
My angelic
the
voice
album-
will not be heard.
You got the perfect radio voice, man, so it's all right.
I always tell people I have the perfect face for radio. The perfect face for
Exactly.
radio.
Exactly. I think we both do, man. It's all right.
It's like why were
couple of good looking cats.
did you ever think about being the lead singer? Yeah, that lasted about 10 seconds. They're like, oh no, you need to be hidden behind cymbals now.
Yeah, that's
Okay, well, that's what I'll do.
love your work, love your work, love your work.
So, but
So then the album's coming out in June.
coming out in
I don't
June.
know the specific date for that. Album's coming out in June. So Kings of the Revolution, we've called it for this one. And then we're going to start working on album number 3 for you.
Oh wow!
But we'll get album number 2 out of the way first.
Well, I don't want to go into too much about Tom because that's it's his work life and everything. But Tom he's involved in doing publicity work and all that kind of stuff. And I work with an agency over here as well, and I do a lot of stuff as well. But
yes,
to get you guys touring. I've talked to a lot of bands over in Australia and touring.
Yep.
I don't know if you know the band Beast Machine.
Beast Machine, no.
Australian
band.
But
that's a cool name too.
You need we got you talk the basic as far as I'm concerned. The Josh Paish is the drummer.
Okay,
he's the beast.
Yes,
he's
cool.
He's a power lifter and he's a drummer and he's mind bending. He's like Neil Peart of
Does he have a drum? Does he have a drum kit left?
Yeah. you see him, you're like, oh my God,
if he's a power lifter, man, like shit.
He's like Neil Peart, but on
so he just hulks
metal.
it.
Oh, it's insane when you watch him.
That's insane,
like, dude. You're
that's
nuts.
insane.
But he's actually done tours in the United States with his band with Beast Machine, and they've done tours.
Okay.
So, but
yes.
and he's told me of course, it's money, right? Everything's financially restrained.
That's all it comes down to.
Sure.
Yeah, and that's all it comes down to at the end of the day, Jay. But hopefully we're going to Japan. So it'll be our first international tour this year. So we're going with 4 other bands from here. So it'll be the first one to trial. Then we come back and then we're going to release our album. So then we'll be doing the Australian tour. We're not going to announce any of the supports yet. And then hopefully by the end of the year, around October, we'll be doing New Caledonia with a bit of luck.
Okay.
Yes. Well, there's big rock festivals and stuff that they play in the islands over there. We got invited to go last year, but we couldn't do it because Matt was doing a few other things with his other bands. So this year we've sort of made plans to do it. And then hopefully we'll get to Europe and you guys next year.
Really?
With a little bit of luck. Well, fingers crossed, man. It'll be either 2025 or 2026. It'll be hopefully one of those two. So we are in preparation of trying to get over. As we do know that's kind of where our music is meant to be, not just here.
Well, I'm here in Savannah, Georgia, and it's not where I'm from, obviously, but that's where I'm at, and that's where I've been for the last like almost 7-8 years.
Yes.
Oh, he's froze. Are you there?
Oh, hang on.
There you go.
Yep. Gina.
So yeah, we have. You're fine. So we have Savannah, Georgia is famous. One of the things that we're really famous for is our St. Patrick's Day celebration. We're currently the largest celebration in the country.
Wow,
it's total madness. It's like
So all in green. Let's do it.
Greening of things. And it's just and I'm involved. Hey guys,
there's nothing wrong with good St. Patty Day.
All you people who are out there who are wondering, yes, I wear a kilt.
Yeah.
So, but I think the thing that one of the things that I because I talked to a lot of the bands that are touring here in the U.S. and because of my platform and the way that we work here with the show, we work with so many international groups.
Okay.
When you guys tour and you guys go places and you guys are you guys going? How far ahead of this stuff? But
sorry.
Are you looking at like touring? Who do you? I mean, for a band like you guys,
Yeah.
A band like for you guys in Europe, I think a great band for you to tour with would be like the Struts. I think if you
Yeah,
guys
awesome.
open for the
Yeah.
Struts, oh my god, that would be a good
Anyone,
package.
anyone over in Europe, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Anyone over in Europe would be happy to contend, and just all we want to do is just play music, man. It's like we just want to get up there, do what we do, have fun, and that's literally it. If I can make someone in that bloody crowd smile, that means I've done my job. You know what I mean? And
right.
that makes me happy. I really couldn't give a shit about the side of money. It's just a matter of just spreading the word, I suppose. Get the good word out there and just have a little bit of bloody fun at the same time.
Oh yeah,
And that's what rock and roll's all about. You know, as you said before the show starts, this is how we all come together.
it is.
It's basically we're building a community, we're building a family. You know what I mean? And that's
It
just
is.
what it is.
It's the most
And keeping this shit alive.
What Dave and I were saying was that Dave, I can call you Dave.
Yeah, go for it, man.
Yeah. Because that's what Glenn was referring to. Dave and I were saying prior to the starting of the show was that how inclusive hard rock and heavy metal is, and it's like every.
Absolutely.
It doesn't matter what you are, what you're doing, whatever you're in it. And I always remember that interview that Rob Halford did when he talked about when he came out, and he was terrified. He thought, "Oh my God, they're going to like." They're like, "No way, I can't." And when the fans said, "We don't care. You're the metal god. Keep singing metal, dude. Just keep going." And he was like, "Really?" Like, "Yeah, we don't give a shit." Like, okay, well then it's just metal. Then we'll just keep doing it. Like, there you go. And it was like, and I tell,
amazing.
Rob Halford is the metal god.
Whoa.
So I think that when I talk about rock music, and you guys, and you're spanning your fan base.
Yes.
I mean, already on my page, on the Gino's Talking Rockin' Facebook page, it's already blowing up. Your fans are like all over it already. So
thank you. Thank you.
But but that's one of the things I love about what I do with my show. And I made it was a very conscientious, effort for us was to say, we need to do this. We don't want to just focus on what we got going on here.
Yes.
Because metal is global.
Yeah, of course.
Black Sabbath, arguably there's creators and Judas Priest and all these things, and then everything that happened here,
amen.
All these things. So, and you have AC/DC, it's everywhere. So
precisely.
And so when we when we talk about this stuff, it's like it's all over the place. And when you guys, I heard your guys' music. That was the first thing I told my fiance. I was like, they sound really like a.
Who did you think we sound like when you first?
You don't sound like that you heard? I had nobody to compare you to specifically, but there were multiple groups. But one thing was it was dirty, it was heavy, it was gritty, and it was like it was like, fuck you, we're in your face. We're playing our music. You eat it or not. Bail out if you don't like it. And I love it. And that's what it is. And I'll be honest with you, there's some bands here in the US I know would love to tour with you guys. Love to tour with you guys. Because you guys have that vibe. And
we got a good friend over there, and if I may give him a quick shout out, Eric from Wild Street, and Jen, his wife. Thank you guys, man. You guys are fucking rocking. And Todd
great
from
band.
Ghost of Sunset. Todd, hello, man. How are you, bro?
I'll tell you another band that you guys are gonna definitely, hopefully when you get done with here, you'll check them out. BSOL from Atlanta. BSOL, a Backside of Life, out of Atlanta. They've been all over. Their drummer is Dave. He actually was the drummer from Skid Row.
Oh wow, he's awesome.
But they're
legend, absolute legend.
They are same, just dripping with like grit and edginess and just dirty.
Awesome,
and it's just a great band. Even bands, Faster Pussycat, which is like they should be huge. So
they should be, man. It's just I don't know what's wrong with the world right now. It's just like, man, like we need everybody to sort of come together a little bit more. We need people to come to the show, people to buy merch. You know what I mean? It's such a different world right now. It's like we're living on platforms, and who the hell gets to tell us who makes the money and who doesn't make the money? It's just like, well, we're the artists. We're trying to get out to everybody. And if it was like the olden days where you'd sell a record, you'd make your money. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then that allows the artists then to be able to pay back their retainers for everything and the distribution for all their records, but then also to tour because they'd have a
That's right.
budget then to do everything with. Now it's like it's all coming out of their own bloody pocket. And it's just like all these tour managers are sort of looking and going, well, don't know if I can take something new on because it's a gamble, you
Right.
know, and then to do that, will I actually make money on it? And it's just like, well, people need to understand, well, you've got all your collective bands that we've all grown up with, but who's coming through on the next order to take over those groups? Well, not to take over, but to offer something new. And then be able to go, okay, well, look, you know, well, these are the influences, obviously, that we grew up with, and these are the bands that we grew up with. You know, you still got your Led Zeppelins, you still got all that sort of genre of music still today, heavily influenced, Kiss, all that sort of shit. Like massive influences on any band that plays, Metallica, all that sort of stuff.
Oh, it's huge.
You know, and that will never die. But you need to we need to bring newer bands onto the table to be able to give them a go and just go, okay, cool. These guys are actually here. They're willing to work. They're willing to do what they're willing to do, and you know, give them a go.
Well,
but no one's there putting their hand up, going, "Yeah, oh, hang on, guys, I'll give you a go."
well,
That's the problem we have now.
Well, yeah, and a lot of the issue is too is like I saw online somebody was like, "Well, I guess I'm going to go ahead and get rid of my CD player, and I'm going to stop buying CDs because you know it doesn't make any point." I said,
"Yep,
hold it, back up. One, it's been proven. It's actually a fact. It's not even an opinion anymore. CD quality is better than your audio digital
absolutely,
quality.
man.
It is still better.
Absolutely.
It's really important that you buy CDs from the artist that you like because it supports that artist directly.
Exactly.
And they don't.
Amen to you, my man.
It's like what is it like? Spotify gives like 3 cents a download.
It's like
it's
zero.
minuscule.
No, we did the math. 0.0001. So if we sold 1 million copies, we probably made $25.
Nothing.
Nothing.
Who is it? Who was it? It was a really famous artist just recently. There was like a they had a really famous. They had a really funny post. They put out a huge artist. Like I just got my $25 from Spotify.
A check from it, yeah.
Like, it might be like Snoop Dogg or something. Snoop Dogg was like, "Thanks for my $13 check."
Yep.
Thanks.
But he's done an awesome job at trying to sort of say, well, who the hell sits up at this platform and makes that money? You know, retains that money, taking that away from your artist who creates the music and gives it directly to you. Like if every artist turned around and just said, no, you can't fucking play my music anymore, what's it going to leave them? You know what I mean? If we all just stood up and just said, nothing. It has to go back old school then, where people then have to rely on purchasing your products physically and coming to a show.
And then all of a sudden, Lars Ulrich is like, "Oh my god, all that crap we gave Lars, like, oh, we were wrong. Yeah, you were wrong. He was right the whole time. He was telling you, hey,
exactly.
They're going to be screwing us, guys. You know it. You know.
Okay, nice.
And guess what? It was right. We totally screwing everybody. And so
exactly.
I always and I just want to let everybody know you're hearing this in the middle of the conversation, but you're going to hear it at the end. If you support the artist, buy their merch, buy their CDs, that money goes directly to the artist. Stop. Don't just, I'm going to download the song. That's great. Thank you. But you know what? These guys have bills to pay. If you want rock stars to be rock stars, look, my middle son, he's in the military. He's I have 3 kids, and 2 of them are in the military. And my middle one will tell you that one of the things he loved about Motley Crue was that they seemed like they're larger than life. They were bigger than the world. They're like cartoon figures. They're like, oh my God, they're just like rock stars. I'm like, yeah. You want to know why? It's because their fans supported them. They bought their tickets. They bought their albums. Man. They put money in their pockets. And they said, you know what? Because my fans are taking care of me, I'm going to take care of my fans. I'm going to keep making these albums. I'm going to go on these tours. I'm going to put drummers inside cages. We're going to spin them out. We're going to be crazy. And we're going to destroy places. And so it's like
it's the same with like Twisted Sister as well, man. Like people used to be scared to have those dudes turn up to their venues. They just wreck the place. Right? It's just like that's old school rock and roll.
That's rock and roll. There's a great interview with Mick Jagger. No, it wasn't Mick Jagger. It was Keith Richards and Motley Crue. There was it was probably 10, 15 years ago where Motley Crue and Metallica switched off. They did opening shows for the Rolling Stones.
Okay.
And the Stones, I think the Crew opened up like 3 shows here in the US. I think
Yep.
3, maybe 4 shows for the Stones. I can't remember. And
Okay.
they asked Keith Richards, why Motley Crue? He's like, they're rock stars. They're legit rock stars. Look at them. They're rock
Yeah.
stars. They look like rock stars. They
Yeah.
they are rock. He said they might be the last of the real rock stars. They look it, they act it. That's
Yeah.
what they are. That's
They're
awesome.
living it. Yeah.
That's what
They're
you
living
want,
it.
right? You want cartoon
Yeah.
figure like a rock stars, right? Like, and
Yeah.
people are like, well, I guess, like, no, you do. You don't want like some jeans and t-shirts and a flannel shirt guy. You want to go, oh
It's
my
boring.
God.
It's
Yeah,
boring.
it's boring, right?
It's
This
boring.
like huge thing. You're like, oh my Lord.
You want to be, you want to be able to sell books. You want to be able to sell stories. The only way to create that sort of shit
we're
is
going to
by
circle
giving
back
the
to you
license to go
guys
big.
on this whole conversation. We're going to circle back to you guys. And that's what we're saying. That's what your sound
Yes.
is. Your sound brings
Thanks,
that.
man.
Your sound is like
Thank you.
bombastic. It's big. It's like, yeah. And I think that's what, you know. Well,
Well, it's
you know,
actually, I got, if I may say something,
Yeah.
when we're actually live and we're playing live, see, I'm the only one who doesn't have any wireless shit. Okay, the guitars, the bass, like Matt, Ben, and Glenn, they've all got wireless stuff, all right? So they're on that stage, then all of a sudden you're looking for them like, off the stage. Matt right next to you doing solos and fucking playing riffs. Ben will be the same. Glenn's up on the bar running across the bar, or whatever the hell he can hang off. So not only are we trying to just bring a stage show to, we're trying to bring exactly what you were just saying for these smaller venues, but just crazy as fuck,
Right?
sort of performance wise, because that's what sticks in people's heads. So
It
like
does.
my vision was always like, if you're standing there and you're just playing, you know, everyone's just sort of grooving along. People go, yeah, that was good, but they won't remember it. If you're fucking a lunatic and just, you know, doing whatever you feel that you think that you should be doing without trying to kill yourself, that's what people remember you for. They're like,
That's
Jesus Christ, how the hell have I not seen you guys?
No, you're right.
And, you know, we always get influenced, as I said, man. But you got to put on a show, play the music, but put on the show as well.
Absolutely.
It's all about that. We don't have any pyrotechnics besides our little geysers, but that's about it.
We have a band that's low. Well, I would say local. It's like regional. And I think they're about ready to break. They're younger guys. They're called 7 Year Witch. And they're young guys. They're younger guys.
That's a cool name.
Right? They're younger guys. But when they put on a show, I swear to God, they opened up for Foxy. My fiance and I looked at each other and we said, oh my God, they're like 80s, like from the 80s band. They were headbanging. The lead singer was doing backflips. He was doing all this, and all the fans in the crowd were like, "Holy shit!" He's like doing like David Lee Roth. He's like, "Holy my God!" He's like, and later on, you know, they said that's what they grew up with. They got it. They totally understood. Like, we know we're not from that generation, but we know that is performance. And that's what
exactly.
It's not just the music.
Exactly,
you guys come to a show. You want to see something. You want to
you want to see a show. It's precisely right. You basically you come from that backstage room. You put your fucking mask on. You're now the performer. Let's go. You know we're there. We're ready to rock and roll. That's it.
What's your most memorable concert that you went to?
Oh shit. Oh man, there's so many where Glenn's been up on the bar running amok, and actually the very first one we did was at a Whole Little Love bar here in Melbourne in Brunswick. It's a small venue, it's a very intimate venue, probably having 100, 150 people in there. It's completely packed. Really cool corner sort of stage where the band is. Anyway, we're the first ones to give it a go with all the wireless stuff. So there's actually a video online on our page as well for this. We're playing with Logic Defies Logic and the Strip. So they come over from New Zealand and we'll just support acting them. I think the Strip was on first. I think Casanova was with us as well. Guy sort of sound like Chris Connor. Anyway, we're all on stage. We're having a good time. And I'm thinking, fuck, these guys are really good, you know. How are we going to top this? Next second later, fucking here's Matt and Ben and Glenn. They've all just headed outside of the venue. So they've got trams and shit coming past. They're fucking shredding outside. And all the dudes are like coming out with their iPhones and shit, just like, holy fuck, what's going on? And people in the street are like, what the fuck is going on? So we're probably the first ones to give that a go and take the party from the pub to outside and then try and bring it all back inside. So it was probably the most memorable one, I suppose, because it was the first time that it sort of happened. So it was a little bit of magic sort of happened there, man.
Well, what about a concert you've gone to as, I don't know, as a kid or, you know?
Oh, concert. Actually, Matt and I went to download. Our good friend Chris O'Brien from Destroyer Lines. Thank you for the tickets for that one too. Well, we're talking about Rob Halford before. Like Ozzy and stuff was meant to be playing here, and then Slayer ended up taking the stage for an extra hour. It was their last show.
Mhm.
Of holy shit, when Judas Priest come out, like Matt and I were like, it doesn't get any more metal than this. Like he's come out, man, in this fucking full metal suit. And we're just like, I think Matt just lost his shit. I've just completely lost my shit. It's like, holy hell. And they're playing like Flamethrower and everything. It was just fucking mental. Swinging the flying V's up in the air. You know, Rob's come out with the whip. He's come out with fucking, you know, the bloody a whole heap of fucking things actually. And then he's come out in the bike and all the stuff a bit later on. And just mind completely blown. You know, you got younger bands as you're talking about, but he really schooled all these bands. It was just like, you guys are good, but this guy didn't even need to really do too much. He just comes out in these suits and all this shit. It was just like, pow. Yeah, you own the stage, man. It's all right. That was yours.
It's just,
so thank you, Rob.
Yeah,
that
absolutely.
was fucking amazing.
I think that, you know, when somebody like Dave Grohl, and he talks about, you know, I've had, I don't know if you know who Ken Mary is?
No.
Ken Mary.
I should do some homework on all this sort of stuff before we talk about this.
He's been the drummer for some really big bands. He's won some Grammys.
Okay.
He was on the show. Actually, he was on my show for a very short moment. And he ended up getting off because he said he was late for another interview and he left, and I didn't have him on. But Ken Mary is a big band. Is a drummer for a lot of big bands. And when talking about like going through and playing shows and establishing yourself and going places, where do you want to go? Where would you like to go? Don't say
interesting question.
Don't say me. Don't say here.
No.
Because where do you want to go really to make yourself like say, hey, I've been there?
Yeah, look, I always said one day that my music would take me around the world. And, you know, hopefully, I've never traveled. I've never been outside of Australia before, unless you call going overseas down to Tassie overseas, but I wouldn't really sort of class that as going overseas. Matt and the rest of the guys have done a fair amount. Like Matt's toured the world countless amounts of times for 20 years. Glenn sort of traveled a lot. I don't know if he's done a lot there with music-wise. But this is kind of on a bit more of a personal level. I would just like to see the world and I haven't really got anywhere specific, to be honest with you there, Jack. It's just more of kind of just traveling, meeting new people, meeting new cultures, you know, just sort of really getting out there, I suppose, and just ticking that one off the bucket list.
Right.
You know, love Europe, love America, love to come over. It's just, as you said, man, it's just all about money and trying to get over, I suppose. It's just, if people don't buy our stuff, then hence it sort of reduces our capacity, I suppose, to sort of go anywhere.
Well,
which
guys,
means we can only.
Sorry. Absolutely. Yeah, no. Well, you just heard it right there, guys. And what I preach after every show, if you support these bands, then support these bands. Go on and buy. If you go on Amazon or if you go to their direct site or whatever, but buy their albums, buy their merchandise. Not to mention, awesome. These guys have a great logo. That's a really cool logo.
Thank you.
The merchandise, and I know Glenn personally. We are. I've had some bitch sessions with him.
Of course you would have.
He's had a few problem children that have come through, and I've had to call him up and say, "I'm going to give you an ass." I'm prior military. I'm a combat vet. All these things and all these other things that are happening. So
No, these days.
I have things. I have things. It's like you have to meet. So
Yeah.
Glenn is great about that. I called him up one day.
Yep.
And I told him, I said, I need to talk to you. The phone call cost me a bunch of money. But I called him. I said, hey, no bueno. This artist can't do this to me. I'm not putting up with this. I said, I will put up. He's like, oh,
yep.
He's like, oh, I was like, yeah, I can't do this.
I better get back on the phone to this artist and find out what he's doing.
I was like, yeah,
time to kick some up.
You don't do this to me. And probably very shortly, the guy emailed me. He's like, I'm sorry for everything. For this. I'm sorry for the misunderstanding. I never offered to put the artist back on the show. I was like, I'm not going to do it.
Yeah. Yeah,
but
awesome. Well, that's fair enough too. We can't win them all.
You can't. And I can tell you this, guys, that if you support these artists and they come on this show, and they come on whatever show, Eddie Trunk, whatever it is, they come on those shows. The best way to support them is you buy their merchandise, you buy their CDs, you support them. So you go to their shows. You got to put money. If you want these artists to flip burgers, don't buy their shit. If you want these guys to be out there like being like normal Joes, then don't buy their shit. If you want them to be rock stars like we want them to be, support them. Put money in their pockets, keep them on the road, keep them making albums. That's what we want. Because that's what it's all about.
Come up to us at the show and have a fucking beer with us, man. We're just like
a damn beer.
Come up. We'll have a beer. We'll shout you the beer if you come to the show.
Absolutely. Yeah, and that's these guys. The misconception, I think, that the vast majority of people in the world really they think that all our musicians are Taylor Swift's and Beyonce's. Taylor Swift being the only artist, I believe, music artist right now who's a billionaire with a B.
That's exactly right. Exactly right.
Yeah, and not to mention,
there's so many more artists.
I'm not taking anything from her. I'm just going to say that don't forget, these guys are writing their own music, they're recording their own music, they're touring their own music, they're doing their own thing. And if you don't support them, there's no incentive for them to continue to do it. So go to the shows. We do. we have
You're a legend, bro.
I advocate to bring you guys here all the time. So buy their music,
man,
buy
we'd
their
love
CDs,
to come over.
buy their merchandise. Shit, go on their sites and buy their t-shirts. How many damn people?
Of course.
All right. For Americans who are living,
I'm sure even Glenn would give you a sweaty one.
For you Americans,
Glenn will give you his sweaty t-shirt.
Who are living in Wyoming or Montana, how many of? Let's be honest. If you buy a t-shirt from Shotgun Mistress, they're gonna go. Somebody can say, "Oh, I have that t-shirt." Nobody's going to say that to you. You're gonna have the only one in that whole town. People are like, "Holy shit, who's that?" And guess what? You'll just do. I'm gonna have to go buy that t-shirt too. And that's right. Go buy that damn t-shirt too. You want to be just like Bob? Go get that damn t-shirt.
Exactly.
Listen, this is how you support these artists. Cool. Yeah, Taylor Swift. She actually talked about that. She actually spoke about her merchandise sales. Yeah. She's like, that's a huge chunk of my $1 billion that I'm making. Of course it is, people. You ding dongs. It's cost $50 for a t-shirt for some of those places. Yes. Yeah. These guys, they're not charging $50 for a t-shirt. So go on their site and get a damn t-shirt. And guess what?
Exactly right.
It's coming from Australia. That's even cooler. You have some koala hair and an alligator, crocodile bite or something. But it's coming from there, man.
That's what the t-shirts are made of.
That's what it's all about.
That's exactly
I love rock and roll. I don't know what to tell you. I love rock and roll. I love heavy metal music. To me, it's like the lifeblood of the world. It means everything in the world to me.
You're a legend, Jane.
I had growing up, I had a really difficult childhood. Really, really difficult childhood. My childhood is being made into a fucking book right now, and I'm not making that up. And metal and hard rock healed me. It made me. I listened to it. I remember staring at the Ted Nugent box that hung above the bed, and I just looked at it and just was thinking about an alternate world, and listening to Led Zeppelin, Black Sabbath, and Molly Hatchet, and all these things. And I just thinking to myself, these are the God. This is speaking to me. So when
Yeah.
I do this show, folks, and you're listening to that, and I'm talking to this incredible artist here, he's pouring his heart into his music. Please make sure that he continues to do it, and that's what this is all about. This is about taking care of this guy. I want him to
God
have.
bless you, man.
I want him to be a rock star, and one day he can
Please
say,
make me a rock star. I want to
one day
ride my Harley
he
Davidson down the fucking hallway, man, and
one day he'll
smash it straight through.
one day he'll say, Gino who?
No, I mean,
And I'll be like,
give me back.
and I'll cry.
Dude, you owe me heaps of
That's
money
what it's
now.
all about. So what do you have
I
to
love
say?
your work, my brother.
What do you have to say in passing? We're
Well,
gonna
God bless
let you
everybody
go.
God bless everybody who supports us with our music. We love you all. We cannot wait to get over there, and we cannot wait to meet and see you all and play in front of you all. Right. So, yeah, as Gene said, help us get over there, help us support you, to get over there. Yeah, I can't bloody wait. Yeah, come up, have a beer with us, anything. We're more than happy to do that. Love you guys and take care of each other. Love to all of you. Gene, thank you very much for talking with us today. Love your work, mate, and God bless.
There you guys have it. You don't go anywhere. If you support these guys, I told you I was going to do it. So don't be fucking surprised when I go hit you up with this, because this is how it always ends. If you support them, if you believe in these artists, buy their physical CDs, buy their merchandise, put money into their pockets, support these guys, buy tickets to their shows. Rock artists are not Beyonce, they're not Taylor Swift. These guys are real fucking artists. They bust their ass, they make an art, they put it out there for you guys to listen to. It's so important. I'm an hey, look, man. I have an artist here in town that I support. He's a piano player. He plays in the largest dual piano bar in the United States. And Ben Torres, he'll tell you the same thing. He doesn't have music to sell or anything other than coming to see him. And I tell people, I've had him on a show twice. Go see him. Pay money to go see him. It's important.
Amen.
He's an artist.
Of course.
He does his art. He believes in his art. He's an incredible musician. You support him. These guys are in a band, and I want them here. I want to see them. I want to support them. I believe in them, and I do have a personal connection.
We won't let you down.
Yes, but I believe
we will
in
not
these
let
guys.
you guys down. You want to see us live?
Holy
get us
shit,
over
they
there.
are
Help
good.
us over.
It's so good. And you heard on the show, if we can if we can do a tour with them and BSOL, come on, man. Oh my God. These guys deserve it. All these guys deserve it. So
awesome.
Throw those metal horns up, get behind these guys and support them. Once again, I want to thank you guys for joining us for Gino's Talking Rockin'. This is a great episode. I can't thank you enough for joining us, all the way from Australia. And
thank you.
We look forward. Hey, we're gonna have you on the show again. I'm
we'll
sure.
Chat again. We'll have you
yep,
again,
yep,
man. We've got 2 more singles coming out, and then the album. So we'll be talking again.
We are.
And if you'll have me back on the show,
yeah, I am. Hey, this is the best show. I don't care. I really don't care who wants to contend with me. This is the best show for all bands international. If you're coming on the show, this is it. So once again, folks, thanks for joining Gino's Talking Rockin'. We talk all things hard rock and heavy metal. Keep those metal horns up. And just remember, when things are down, you're feeling a little rough, throw that metal on. Make yourself feel better, because it's all about metal. Thank you, guys.
Woo! Thank you.